Hello guys, what's up? So I finished Aliens Dark Descent and I'm still thinking about what the hell were they trying to go with that final mission and ending. The game was going well for me. I did enjoy leveling up my squad, progressing and stuff, after I actually learned how to take my time and let my squad rest and not rush things like I was doing at the start. But then they threw all of that away, and in the final mission they put me in charge of the main characters instead of the Marines that I spent the whole game leveling up. And then instead we go to play with my Echo character and two others are just there, you know, the guys that we get to see in the cutscenes of this game. Every time we have to play with this woman, it's shit. First at the prologue, and I was like okay with that, since they needed to teach the player in regards to how the game works and they used this first sequence for it. But then they added another level like halfway through the game, that you had to take charge of my Echo, and it was focused on just hiding from the aliens. Boring, just boring, took away the immersion. I was so focused on leveling up my squad, and they stopped that just to play with my Echo, and I'm like, I don't care about this woman. And in this last level, which kind of was just like a running simulator kind of, gameplay wise, it was very anticlimactic. It was a very anticlimactic way to finish this game. Boring level, boring final boss, if we can even call it that we don't even get to actually directly fight it. It was kind of a waste. At least they gave it an ending cutscene on this game, while in the previous one, aliens fighting it, they didn't even manage to do it. That the game just ends like that when the mission ends. Like there's no like cutscene or anything, and no alien queen boss fight either. At least not in the main campaign. Anyways, is it that hard to make a big alien boss fight at the end of your game nowadays? I don't get what they're been doing in these last ones. I won't say everything in the final part was bad. The design of this ancient alien city and some of the things that they seem to imply on what we're seeing there have for sure caught my interest in how this whole thing should fit in within the current alien lore, but that's actually something that I wanted to talk in another video. I heard the development of this game was kind of rushed, and I can tell by the way that the game looks like. I mean, just it feels like half finished. Like feels like there's something missing on it in several aspects, both gameplay wise, story wise. Like it just feels like it's missing something. And this is something that I have heard about in most Alien or Predator games, that their developments always seem to be rushed. It just feels like these franchises are cursed in regards to this. So it could explain why this final mission just felt so abrupt and empty. Like they just kind of were doing like the game normally, and then when they had to release the game, they just hushed the final part and just like said, okay, we have to just finish the game as fast as possible, whatever. And they just made it this bad sequence at the end. It was such a bad way to finish the game. Not only they don't let you play with your squad, nothing that you did the entire game in regards to how you managed your Marines makes any difference at all at the end against this Titan alien, which I'm not even a big fan of this alien design. Out of all these space jockey alien designs, that's probably the most unique one, let's call it, but still, like, looking a little too weird for me. I have never been a big fan of this giant alien design thing, like this concept they have been trying to do in other entries, like mainly on the Expanded Universe comics and stuff. Which I get it that people want to see more variations of the alien forms, like from different hosts, but this one was a little too different for me, and I get it, like in a game actually brings like a different enemy type, but what is the point if you don't even get to fight it? Like the boss fight, I mean, we cannot really call this a boss fight. All you do is run, stunt the creature with a grenade of the pulse rifle, run again, keep repeating it until it's over. Like, I don't mind adding more alien types as long as it has like a gameplay element. If it adds something that adds something to the gameplay of the game, just like a different enemy that requires like a different strategy variation to the gameplay. But in this case, it was all for nothing. And the worst part is that I don't even know how to call this exactly, but it was the whole telepathic power aspo that they try to do with the Harper character, that he is able to use like this sort of force. Reminded me of the force from Star Wars, which he uses from the ship. Like the other characters are inside in this planet, deep inside, like they actually have to go several levels down to the planet in this mining area. So like they are deep inside the planet, and from space Harper is able to sense what is happening, and using this telepathic power he managed to stun the alien Titan. And the alien just kind of, like, when I look at the alien, I start laughing, to be honest. Alien kind of made this confused face, like, what the hell is happening? It was like a representation of the audience, of the people watching that, which was like me. I was like, what the hell? They pushed Cassandra of having some sort of telepathic link with the aliens, and I assume that is like a genetic thing. So her father also have it, that's how she got it from. She got it from her father. And Cassandra thing, the whole thing with Cassandra, it wasn't even properly explained what they are doing with her. Marlowe does mention a link between her and the aliens, but it was assumed from what I was understanding, that they are trying to use her as a way to control the aliens. Maybe more of this is mentioned in the data pass, which I have not read nor have not been able to acquire them now yet. Maybe that's on me. But from what I seen, it wasn't really working. The aliens were behaving as normal, and Marlowe and everybody except the Guardian guys kind of died anyway. So whatever telepathic connection Cassandra had with the aliens wasn't really doing much. She was trapped there, but it wasn't giving Marlowe what he wanted. I imagine it could be like something similar, like the one that the Ripley 8 clone on Alien Resurrection had with the aliens there, that you could like sense them, see them, like see from his eyes. The idea of humans having telepathic connections with aliens isn't exactly new, as that is said to be like the way that the aliens communicate with each other to telepathy, like the alien queen controls them, like just give them commands, whatever. And it just tends to allow humans to feel or see as aliens do, like Decker in the novel Alien Sea of Sorrows, which is, he has this telepathic thing that is also genetic, so it's kind of similar to what we see in this game, that he can see and feel what the aliens are feeling. You know, he can just see through his eyes or something, like he has this connection with them. It's still, in this game, it just felt a little too weird, kind of really out of place, just came out of nowhere, and boom, that's just a thing. And then the game ends like that. Not much explanation to what was happening with Cassandra and everything related to it. We do get 4 data logs in the final mission, but they don't really give much a background of useful information in regards to how this telepathic plot, to be honest, so it doesn't really help much. I think the game is still okay overall, but the ending was really disappointing for me. For me, it's just like an okay game, I guess. If you're an Alien fan and like playing video games, I guess they can give you some fun, but it's really not like on the top 5 best games of this franchise for sure. And in the ending, they really messed it up. I think the game is like okay, it's fun until the last level. The last level is such a wasted potential, especially because we get to see this whole alien city, this whole interesting environment. We could have they could have added so many more alien types. Something that I didn't like in this game is that it doesn't have enough alien types in my opinion. If you compare it to like Friday Elite has much more alien types, and in this one they kind of wasted that. If they're gonna bring, like, they could have brought many more like different variations, especially because we have an alien city. Like we have like a whole new environment that we didn't get to see before in other alien games, because it was very different in design of this. And they could have added like more like gigantic aliens, or I don't know, just something different. They could have added more levels in that location, more stuff, and well, it just kind of, we have like this whole new location, this whole new ideas, and then the game ends, and I'm like, well, whatever. Well, I hope you guys, well, have had some fun with this game as I did. But well, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed here with the ending of this game.